All right, let's dive into this Kantoor of Boerderij.
Okay.
This Dutch novel you gave me, it's got some twists and turns, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
We've got Jasper stuck in an accounting job, but he dreams of becoming a farmer.
Yes.
And then there's Engelina, who's passionate about her work in the lab.
Yes.
She's also got this thing for, like, antique glassware.
An interesting combination.
I know, right? And get this, their love story starts.
Okay.
Because of a canceled train.
Really?
I know. It's so wild how, like, this totally normal thing, like a train being canceled, it can just, like, totally change your life.
It really can.
Yeah.
Like in this case, it sets off this like whirlwind romance.
Totally.
But it also like gets them caught up in this criminal investigation.
It's crazy how Miedema, the author, right? It's like he's saying that, like, these everyday things, these little things can just, like, derail your whole life.
Yeah, like throw you off the track you thought you were on.
Exactly. And right from the beginning, he creates this, like, unsettling feeling.
Oh.
Yeah, with this character, the Griezel.
Oh, the Griezel.
Which, if you don't know Dutch, basically means creep.
Right, right.
And this Griezel is always lurking in the background, like at the train station, then on the bus.
Like a bad omen?
Yeah, it's creepy. It makes you feel like something bad is going to happen.
You know, it's interesting because it really taps into this like universal fear we all have.
Oh.
Yeah, that fear of the unknown, the feeling that someone's watching you.
I hate that.
I know, right? And Miedema, he's so good at, like he doesn't outright say, be afraid.
Right.
But he uses this Griezel to make you feel uneasy.
Totally. It's like he's planting these little seeds of doubt.
Yes.
Like, is this just some random creep or is there something more going on?
Exactly. And speaking of creepy.
Yeah.
Remember that insurance agent?
At Jasper's parents' farm?
Yeah, the one they couldn't quite place.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about him.
Well, guess what?
Oh.
He turns out to be the Griezel.
No way.
Yes. That's how Miedema uses foreshadowing.
That's so clever.
He drops these little hints early on.
Yeah.
And then later, they take on this whole new meaning.
Wow. So, like, he was planning this whole thing from the beginning.
It seems that way.
Okay, but back to Jasper and Engelina.
Yeah.
Despite this creepy Griezel guy.
Right.
They actually start to, like, connect.
During the car ride.
Yeah, Jasper offers to give Engelina a ride.
Because his car's parked at the station.
Exactly.
And she hesitates at first.
She does, but then, like, the canceled train forced them to, you know, do something they wouldn't normally do.
Step outside their comfort zone.
Exactly. And you know what I think is really interesting?
What's that?
It's how Engelina isn't, like, totally naive.
Right?
She's cautious, but she's also open to new experiences.
Good balance.
It makes her feel real, you know?
Like someone we could actually meet.
Totally. And as they're driving... They start talking about their dreams and stuff.
Yeah.
Jasper talks about wanting to be a farmer.
Right.
And Engelina, she shares her passion for her work.
And the glassware.
Oh, yeah, and the entry glassware.
It makes them feel so relatable.
I know, right? Like these little details.
Yeah.
They make the characters come to life.
It's what Miedema does so well.
Yeah.
He takes these everyday things and makes them feel extraordinary.
It's pretty cool.
So their first date.
Oh, yeah, at the restaurant in Vagel.
Vagel.
It's like a mix of classic romance stuff, you know, shy glances, awkward silences.
But there's that tension, too.
Oh, yeah, because of the Griezels.
Right, like when that guy keeps staring at Engelina.
Oh, I hated that part.
He says he's admiring her beauty, but
it's creepy.
It's
it makes you wonder.
Exactly.
Like Miedema is playing with us, the readers.
He is. He's making us question everything.
And then, bam, the truth about the Griezel comes out. It's a huge twist.
What is it?
Okay, are you ready for this?
I think so.
The Griezel, his real name is Hans de Boer.
Hans de Boer.
And he's not just some creepy guy.
Okay.
He's living a double life.
A double life?
He's married to 2 women.
What?
I know, right?
2 women?
Yeah, Henny and Asien.
Wow.
That's like, Miedema just threw a bomb into the story.
A lot to take in.
It is, and the way we find out is so cool.
Oh.
It's through this Dutch TV show called Opgelicht.
I've heard of that.
They, like, expose scams and stuff.
Right, so it's like real life.
It makes the whole story feel more real, right?
It does. It's like Miedema saying
that
this kind of deception, it can happen anywhere.
Oh, totally.
And the details about Hans's scheme, it's amazing.
I know, like the fake weddings, the forged documents.
It's wild.
It makes you think, like, how can anyone be so good at lying?
And how easily people can be tricked.
Especially in a relationship.
Right, you think you know someone.
Yeah.
But then it turns out
they're living a whole other life.
Exactly.
And so we've got this romance blossoming. Jasper and Engelina.
Yeah.
But now we're thrown into this criminal investigation.
A big one.
I know, right? It's a lot.
It makes you wonder.
What?
What would you do?
You mean
if the person you were falling for was suddenly involved in all this?
That's a tough one.
Would you run?
Or would you?
And try to figure it out?
I honestly don't know.
It's a question that's going to keep coming up.
Yeah, I think you're right.
As we go deeper into the story.
Okay, so we've got Jasper and Engelina falling for each other.
Right.
But they're also caught up in this crazy case of deception.
And it's just the beginning.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me neither. So we're back, diving deeper into Kantoor of Boerderij.
And things are getting even more complicated for Jasper and Engelina.
They're dealing with the fallout of Hans de Boer's lies.
It's like this whole criminal investigation thing.
Yeah.
It's changing them, you know?
Absolutely. It's a turning point for them.
Both as individuals.
And as a couple.
It's forcing them to, really think about their future.
And what they want out of life.
Miedema does a great job showing how this, external conflict, it affects their relationship.
Right. It brings up those tough conversations.
Their dreams, their careers, everything.
And we see Jasper's dream of being a farmer.
Oh, yeah. That comes back in a big way.
It's not just a fantasy anymore.
It feels like a real possibility now.
Especially with Engelina's support.
I love how they start, brainstorming together about combining their passions.
Like running a farm with a lab.
It's such a cool idea.
It shows how creative they are.
And how they support each other's dreams.
Which is important in a relationship.
Totally. But then...
out of nowhere, Jasper proposes.
Really? I know. It was so unexpected.
Where does this happen?
They're having dinner with Jasper's brother, Jarrett, and his new girlfriend.
Okay.
And suddenly, Jasper just pops the question.
Wow.
It's spontaneous, totally romantic.
So what do you think?
About the proposal.
Yeah, was it the right time?
That's a good question.
I mean, they've been through so much.
Yeah.
With the whole Hans de Boer thing.
It makes you wonder.
If it was a reaction to all the stress.
Maybe he just needed something stable in his life.
That's possible.
But it could also be true love.
It's hard to say, for sure.
I guess we'll have to keep reading.
But one thing's for certain.
What's that?
Things are about to get even more complicated.
You're telling me now they have to deal with, all the practical stuff that comes with marriage?
Finances, family, all of it.
It's not all romance and butterflies anymore.
No, it's real life.
Miedema does a great job of showing that.
Like when Jasper brings up the prenup.
Oh, yeah, that is interesting.
Coming from a farming family.
Yeah.
He's worried about protecting his assets.
Especially with the family farm involved.
Right, it's not just about him and Engelina anymore.
There's this whole history.
A legacy that comes with the farm.
It adds another layer of complexity.
And then there's Engelina.
What about her?
She doesn't like the ideas of prenup.
She sees it as a sign of distrust.
Which is understandable.
You're in love, you're planning a future, and suddenly you're talking about splitting up.
It's like a reality check.
But maybe Miedema is trying to tell us that love isn't always enough.
You mean you need to be practical too?
Exactly, protect yourself.
Do when you're in love?
It's a tough lesson.
But a necessary one, maybe.
So how do they resolve this?
Through communication, thankfully.
Right, get out.
Jasper explains his concern.
And Engelina listens.
They eventually compromise.
Using a notary.
To make sure everything is fair.
It's a mature way to handle things.
Definitely. It shows that they
respect each other.
And are willing to work things out.
It's a good sign for their future. Meanwhile, there's some drama with Jasper's family.
Oh. What happens?
His parents decide to sell the farm.
Really?
Yeah, they're moving to...
What about Jarrett?
Well, he wants to buy a property.
Okay.
Get this.
What?
He wants Jasper and Engelina to be his neighbors.
Like right next door?
Yeah, he's picturing this little family compound.
Wow, that's...
the big change.
For everyone.
And then, just when you think things are settling down... Hanny calls.
One of Hans's wives?
Yeah, she has some news.
What kind of news?
About her marriage.
It was fake, right?
Yeah, but it turns out...
Yeah.
It was also illegal.
So, completely invalid?
Totally. Which means she was never really married to Hans.
Wow, so all those years.
Yeah.
It was all a lie.
It's messed up.
And legally speaking.
Yeah.
She shouldn't be responsible for his debts.
You'd think so, right? But
the legal system...
it's not always so clear-cut.
This is where Jasper's financial knowledge comes in.
Oh, yeah, how so? He realizes that Hanny could be in trouble.
Financially.
Yeah, so he tells her to talk to the mayor.
To get help.
Exactly. It's like he's become this...
accidental advocate.
Yeah, using his skills to help others.
It's a good look for him.
I think so, too. And,
wow.
It makes you think about how we can all use our skills to make a difference.
Even in small ways.
It's inspiring, right?
It is to see someone stepping up.
And Engelina's right there with him.
Supporting him.
They're a true team.
It's heartwarming.
So we've got this complex web of relationships,
family
drama, financial struggles.
And a whole lot of deception.
Where do we go from here?
Deeper into the mystery.
And into the hearts of these characters.
It's going to be an interesting ride.
And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Kantoor of Boerderij.
It's amazing how much this book packs in.
I know, right? From chance encounters to criminal investigations.
And now, it feels like we're shifting gears again.
Totally, like things are calming down a bit.
The pace is definitely slower.
More reflective, maybe?
Yeah, it's less about the big reveals.
And more about the characters dealing with the aftermath.
Of everything that's happened.
Exactly. So Jasper and Engelina are back in the Netherlands.
Trying to get back to normal life.
But they're still haunted by Hans de Boer's deception.
Especially when they see how much Hanny and Klaasien are struggling.
That scene with the debt collector.
Oh, that was tough.
It's so unfair.
They're victims.
But they're the ones being punished.
It's a reminder of how broken the system can be.
And how easily people can be exploited.
Miedema doesn't shy away from that.
He shows the real-world consequences of these actions.
And Jasper, with his financial background, he understands the legal complexities.
So he tries to help Hanny
by advising her to talk to the mayor.
It's like he's found a new purpose.
Beyond just being an accountant.
He's using his skills to fight for justice.
It's inspiring to see.
It makes you think, like, what can we do
to help others?
Even in small ways.
Exactly. We all have something to offer.
And Engelina is right there with him.
Supporting him every step of the way.
They make a great team.
They balance each other out.
And they're not afraid to get their hands dirty.
To help those in need.
Speaking of getting their hands dirty.
What do you mean?
Remember that farmhouse Jarrett wanted to buy?
The one with the 2 separate living spaces?
Yeah, well, he's got a proposition for Jasper and Engelina.
Oh, what is it?
He wants them to buy the other half of the property.
And live next door to him.
I know, right? It's a big decision.
It would change their lives completely.
But it could also be amazing.
To have families so close.
And to potentially work together.
It's a lot to think about.
And their reactions are so different.
How so?
Engelina, she's immediately excited.
She sees the potential.
For her lab, for their future.
Just frame her.
And Jasper, he's more cautious.
Worried about the risks.
The financial burden.
And how it might affect their relationship.
It's a tough call.
And then, in the middle of all this,
Jasper
proposes to Engelina.
I know, right? Talk about a curveball.
It's so unexpected.
But also so perfect.
It's like he realized
life is short.
And he doesn't want to waste any more time.
And Engelina says yes.
Of course she does.
But then she brings up the prenup.
Oh, wow.
Which, could have been a disaster.
It's a sensitive topic.
But they handle it so well.
They talk it through.
Honestly and openly.
And they find a compromise.
They decide to involve a notary.
To make sure everything is fair.
It shows a lot of maturity.
And respect for each other.
It's a good sign for their future.
And amidst all this,
yeah,
there's good news for Hanny and Klaasien.
Oh, that's right.
Thanks to Jasper and Engelina's effort.
With the mayor's support.
They both get monthly allowances.
It's not perfect.
But it's a step in the right direction.
It shows that some
even a flawed system
can deliver justice.
It gives you hope.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into Kantoor of Boerderij, we're left with this feeling of cautious optimism.
I like that.
Life is messy.
And unpredictable.
But it's also beautiful.
And full of surprises.
Iga's novel reminds us of that.
It's a story about love, family, and finding your way.
Even when things get tough.
It's a story that stays with you.
Long after you finish reading.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
I hope you enjoyed it.
And that it's given you something to think about.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
And keep those